Hey everyone, welcome to your Moon in Aquarius reading. I'm super excited to bring you this reading per the usual. And also per the usual, you know that these readings are not dependent upon you having any specific natal sign or any significant natal placements. And you don't have to be watching this video at the time that it's being published. If it's for you and it makes its way to you and it resonates with you, then it's for you. But if it makes its way to you and you watch it and you find that it's not resonating, I would invite you to take a step back and wait a few days so that the energy can materialize a little bit more. So maybe it can become more perceptive to you. Then come back and watch the video and see what pops up for you. And of course, if you'd like to do any personal work with me, you know exactly where to find me and my spirit team, shout out, right here at Compassionate Heart School. And you can find my business page on Etsy. All of the information is on the page that you're watching this video right now. All right, so let's jump in. So actually, I was going to ask about what is the collective energy, what messages do we have for the collective at this time as the moon is transiting the sign of Aquarius. 1 minute 11 seconds. I'm going to say that we are going to be taking a look at the dates of what's today? Oh my god. Of July 4th to July 6th. Happy 4th of July, by the way, if that's your thing. And but anyway, so July 4th to July 6th, but as you know, whenever you're watching this video, if it works, it works. And I was going to also tell you that as I pressed play, I kind of just got the vibes of May energies. Now I have to yawn, hold on. Okay, let's talk about it. Because whenever energies really start flowing, my throat, I start yawning, my nose starts itching, it just gets crazy. But what I'm getting here is there's a little bit of a hearkening back to the month of May. And I kind of got a vibe that, I mean, I was thinking down May 2023, but it gave me a bit of a vibe, and I was wondering if it would also be a nod to May 2020 or May 2021. It just feels like, or May 2020, maybe hearkening back to May 2020. Hold on, gotta yawn again, wow. On 2 minutes and 22 seconds, that yawn. So that just means the energies are flowing. So some of you, I wonder if you're feeling this as well. I'm always curious because sometimes clients feel the energy flow and sometimes they don't. It doesn't matter, it's still hitting you, but I just wonder if you guys are feeling the energies too. So let's look at that. The word that I can't even say those words because energetically they're just not a match, but they did come to mind. So let's let Spirit define what this energy is. That is hearkening back to May. Oh God, it feels even probably before May 20. Yeah, probably May 2020. Yeah. Anyway, part of me was wondering if it's going to be. I was going to say a reversal of fortune, but see, I'm struggling to say that because that's not the way it is. That's not it. So if you're worried about, oh no, I'm making such headway now, it's going to go back, that's not it. It could feel closer to maybe there are going to be some I don't want to say assessments or similar scenarios that pop up, kind of to see where you are, how you're going to do, what are you going to do differently this time. But whatever was going on in May 2020 or May 2023, which is just a few months ago, I would invite you to keep an eye out for any similarities in scenarios that you may be facing in your life. And the idea is, if you have learned the lesson, meaning if you have broken through whatever issues were going on in your energy field that led you to make certain choices that were not in your health and in the direction of your health and well-being, if you are able to break through those, then you will not feel pulled, as much of a pull or a karmic pull, the guides are saying, to kind of do the same thing. Sorry, I'm trying to talk, but it feels like my throat is just really expanding and it actually hurts a little bit. So let me just give it a moment to pass. Hold on. Good yawn. Oh, wow, that yawn went all the way down into my diaphragm with the inhalation. Okay, wow. Okay, those energies are potent. So that's just a little heads up for you guys. 4 minutes, 56 seconds, 456. I was just about to say, let's move on. When you see numbers in succession like that, a lot of times it's a nod to progress being made. So let's progress. And I heard the guys say cards. Yes, let's get to the cards. So we'll keep that in mind. And I don't want you guys to go into any fear mode. There's nothing to fear that you're going to be trapped back into whatever you were dealing with, because that's just not the case. Oh, look at it. See, that's what I'm saying. Justice. I was just going to say, it's really just going to be upon, well, what you feel inclined to do. And always remember that when it's whatever's going on in your energetic field, that is what it creates the compulsion to move one way over another. And so that's why you, as a conscious mind observer, should always be in touch with what's going on in your energy field, what is being triggered within you, what are the possible stimulants outside of you that are triggering you in this way. What would you like to envision for yourself? What action steps could you take to navigate towards what it is that you'd like? And also paying attention to the shadow sides of you to see what is it that I am choosing to deny or look away from in order to thwart myself, or to have what it is that I secretly want and I'm not comfortable with myself showing. So we're talking about shadow work again. So that's very important. So we see that the first card we pull out is the Justice card, but it's reminding us balancing and being observant and taking proper precautions is what I'm getting for somebody. But also knowing that you're in control and not giving in to the fear. If you're afraid something is going to take you over and you're going to make a wrong decision, then chances are you're actually afraid of your perceived ability to stay in alignment with what is in your health, proper health and well-being. So anyway, I feel like I'm moving right into someone's personal reading right now. A lot of your energies are kind of there. So let's just pull it up a little bit and get back out into the general. Whew. It's interesting because here it is. I'm like trying to stay general, but I'm feeling like I'm being pulled into these little energies here. So let's focus on moving forward. So just be mindful of that. Okay. Now the card that's coming out here is asking us, so pretty, Parvati with devotion is asking us to consider, what is it that you would like to be about, right? So at this time in your life, of course, we feel compelled to move one way or the other. We may feel trapped by our circumstances at times, but the guides are saying with this devotion card, it's also very important to make sure that you have a vision about what you would like to embody. And when we have this vision, you can move in your space in alignment with that vision. So of course, when we typically think about working towards goals and such, we set the goal and then we see ourselves moving towards it, taking action steps. The problem with that, first of all, it's very good, but the problem with that is that goal setting and moving towards goals, while helpful, is kind of stuck, has the potential to keep you stuck in a 3D physical world kind of mentality. When you really want to approach something like that from a higher perspective and from a more interdimensional perspective, you have to add an interdimensional quality to it. And that's why when we talk about shifting into what it is that we would like to embody, it's quick in the sense that you sit and you literally sit and you get into whatever it is that some people like to use music, some people like to use guided meditations, but I always think that it's always good to really start with just yourself. And of course you can lead into some of those other things, but start with just yourself. Really sit and start to envision in your mind. When you're doing that, you're actively working in the non-physical field, which is the only now moment there is. So you're actually doing the work there when you take a pause and you envision what it is that you would like to be, what you'd like to have, and what do you look like, what do you smell like, what is the emotion coursing through your body, who are you speaking with, have the conversation in your mind. Yes, mutter to yourself, mutter away, whatever it is. really feel into it and keep it going. Daydream like a mofo for that time being. And the guides just said 7 minutes. If you can get to 7 minutes and really get lost in that feeling, and maybe you're outside and you're in your daydream, you're outside and you're feeling the rainfall and you're smelling the pavement and it smells good, and then you see your favorite person around the corner, and suddenly you start to feel happy in this envisioning because wow, it is 11 a.m. and instead of being stuck behind a desk, I'm out here in nature rounding the corner with my favorite human being or my favorite pet or whoever is your favorite on this planet at this time, and I get to really have the little latte that I love. So feel into that and really, really envision it. The stronger you do that, and for the longer you do that, and the more you keep that kind of consistency up with that image and the feelings, the more you are shifting yourself and really grounding yourself within that timeline that you're creating for yourself. In a sense, you're not creating your timelines. If it is appealing to you, if it's coming to mind, there is a potential for it. And that's why that potential is able to touch your mind, because it's so active that among all of the other potentials, it's one of the ones that can touch your conscious mind, and you can have a desire for it. Remember, there's so many other potentials that you could have, 11 minutes, 11 seconds, so many timelines that you can access, but it is your mood and your vibrational frequency that will bring certain timelines into your perception while others are outside of your perception, in the realm of possible but not likely. And so that's why if you are in a sour mood, it's much harder for you to envision a miracle, which is a change in perception, or a miracle, something happening to get you out of your issue, your financial issue, just like that. You'll find it hard to believe that you'll find another job tomorrow. You find it hard to believe that this person will turn around and apologize. Why? Because your vibration is so low, your belief is so low, your mood is so low, you're so nihilistic, you're in the down in the dumps, and so you are unwittingly distancing and obliterating the probability for the timelines that you actually really want to actually, number one, even seem believable to you. And if you're not even thinking it's believable, then what are we doing out here? What are we doing? What are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? What are we doing? Right? So that's why the guides always say, really, really do your best to work on your mood. Maintain a sense of optimism. Being realistic does not have to mean pessimistic. Those are two different things. And so a lot of people struggle with that distinction, and well, you don't have to be one of those. So anyway, so what the guides are saying is right now, start to create a vision for yourself. Who are you being in that vision? What does it feel like? What does it taste like? What do you have? How does the world perceive of you? What opportunities do you have? What access to things? And dream big. Don't worry about it if you're like, yeah, but I need this job, and how could I see myself on a houseboat somewhere? Listen, we're not out here to ask you to dream of your 3D reality. We're out here asking you, what do you want to have your new reality? And you're not going to be able to make that change right away in your physical until you have garnered enough energy behind the now moment that it deserves, right? So that's why, unless you're just really like, you know what, I deserve it, here's my letter of resignation, and here's my application for this new houseboat. And even those people who manage to do that, we just see their split decision, but we don't get access to seeing what they have been energetically doing and believing and building up within themselves, sometimes unknowingly. Okay, so just to nip that in the bud, the guides are saying at this time, what they would like you to do is start taking it seriously that you are able to change your circumstances. I love how they say that. You are able to change your circumstances, because when they say that, it carries the energetic frequency of a reminder that we are not beholden to other people as much as we think. We, on some level of our field, it may be informed by our past life traumas, our current life traumas, our lack of self-belief, whatever it is. But on some level of our field, we are choosing to be beholden to the will of other people. And that's one of the biggest issues that human beings have, understandably, because we have been conditioned for eons, right? And the big misunderstanding is the belief that someone else's will is stronger than ours. And yes, so you may argue, well, if someone has a gun to your head, what do you do? There are many people who have been in that circumstance, and hey, maybe they perished on their feet. Who knows? But there's always a choice. There's always a choice. And guess what? You'll be back in the next lifetime anyway. And I say that being such a little timid little bunny. I'd be like, I don't know what I'm doing here. But I can affirm I'm here again. So here we go. And so the point is, you are in charge of a lot more of your destiny than you may be willing, or maybe even comfortable, as I say, to acknowledge. Okay. And I just noticed there's a card under here. What is this? Alliance. Yes. So alliance with whom? With you, with your higher self, with source, all of this. It all starts with a vision. So please, let's take a moment to do a little correction of the mindset. If you guys are of the mindset that source is here to live your life for you, that your spirit team is here to live your life for you, that your ancestors are here to live your life for you, none of them is. They're all here to be of assistance if and when it is appropriate. That means you're the one running the ship. That means you make the decisions. And when you go on to the other side and you transition and you get back and you're doing your life review, no one is going to be out there like, oh, well, we forced you to make this decision because the last thing they want is you, whoever you are, coming and them like, I had it. Why did you change this? Why did you do? I was going to make the decision. You robbed me of making that decision. And in fact, when we get to the other side, we may have a bit of an eye opener to see how much autonomy we really had here. And it's just par for the course. We get it because we don't remember things, but I just want to drive home for you that you are the one creating the circumstances for yourself. So really, really, if you're like, but how? That's a moment for internal dialogue. That's a moment for digging inside. And if that moment is fraught with anger and indignation and defensiveness, I would say this is not the proper attitude that is going to help you to uncover these deeper energetic connections to yourself. Because the point is, when we carry those kinds of heavy energies, understandably, because we're going through stuff down here, but when you carry those energetic energies, they create blockages. They literally a blockage in your energetic field, blocking your meridians from having that prana flow through, blocking. And so there you are trying to find answers, rapping at your head, being upset, and getting angry with God and who else and whatever, and at yourself and berating yourself, when you are the one blocking you from receiving the flow of answers and energy that is, well, ubiquitous. It's been here, it's been around you, but the problem is a vision problem. It's a perception problem because of the stuff we have in our field. And that's where the healing comes in. And that's why we remember that healing, is not about healing your body. That's, yes, something you can do on the physical field, manage those symptoms in the physical body and all of that. But healing, true healing, meaning root causes, will never, ever, remember this, ever be found in your physical body. Your physical body does not carry root causes. It's going to be in the non-physical field, and it's going to be around a belief. So when you are healing, what you're doing is you're healing your perceptions, you're healing your beliefs, and your core belief that really, and all of us, humanity, the core belief that gets us every time is the belief in separation, that we are separate from God. We're not. Right? We see how simple it is when a parent, let's just say, is actually just sick as a child is growing up and can't be with the child in the capacity that it needs, or the parent is working, or God forbid the parent is abusive. We see that can set a child on a destructive course for the rest of their lifetime, and sometimes multiple lifetimes. Right? So we see that alone. Imagine now we're talking about source energy. God, whatever, our creator, whatever word you want to use, you may not be able to make the connection on a visceral level, and that's what we're working towards. But on some level, people are angry with source. They're angry with God. And that's why when you speak with where it's a great mystic or something, they will tell you that the source is your anger at being cast out or sent away. And that's because that's our perception problem. So remember, if we're working with limited vision down here, we cannot allow ourselves to get so strong and rigid in any of these heavily emotional beliefs, because we don't see the full picture. And so what we're doing is we're putting ourselves through this emotional havoc that plays out lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And to be fair, some of these things are rooted so deeply in our energy field that it just takes time to work through. But that being said, start today. Just kidding. You can get started living your best life today. By what? By bringing in an intention to self-reflect, an intention to observe how you interact with others, and an intention to heal places within you, in your energy field. Heal yourself in the body. Make sure that the body is getting what it needs. Make sure the energy field is getting what it needs. Make sure that you maintain protection. The guys are saying dynamic. They're saying verbatim, dynamic force field protection is what they're saying. That's interesting. I've never heard it put that way, but yeah. So get on it, basically. So protect your energy field. Because, everyone's out here in the blizzard, no jacket, nothing. Okay. So if we want analogies, that's an analogy. Walking around buck naked, 21 minutes, 21 seconds in the middle of a blizzard, and then wondering why you're getting sick and dying of whatever, right? So that's a very, very important observation to make. So what are you doing to improve your ability to withstand the pressures? The guides are talking also about, thank you, chemical pressures, chemicals in your food. Hold on, let me close the door. Yeah, chemicals in your food, chemicals in your lotions, chemicals in your cosmetics, chemicals in your soaps, all that stuff. Chemicals in the food that you eat, chemicals in the lining of the cans, chemicals everywhere, perfumes, the things that you're spraying in the air, EMFs from our phones, and this device that I'm literally speaking into right now, from our TV, from the towers that are around us, chemicals in the water, chemicals. So if you're ever wondering about your toxification, the minerals, your vitamins, what nutrients you need, one of the great things that you can do is get a hair analysis. Just putting that out there as a suggestion. But being mindful of those things. If you're not aware of, there's a really nice app that I like to use. It's called Bobby Approved, if you've heard of it. And it's this guy, clearly he's on mission, and so basically he looks into foods, and he'll take you into the supermarkets, he'll show you comparisons between products, and he tells you what chemicals to look for. For example, if you're using anything on your body that literally on the back it says fragrance, that is a major hormonal disruptor, endocrine disruptor, for example. So all sorts of stuff that we have no idea about and we're consuming, please, that's what the guides are saying, chemicals. So that's another way that we're just chopping down our energy field. This is lost knowledge to a lot of us, most of us. And it's because we are kept on this system of pharmaceuticals, system of diagnoses, prescriptions, all of that, agribusiness. Let's not even talk about the chemicals in the food in terms of not inorganic foods and GMOs, all that stuff. So it all ties back, and it all has a little price tag on it that we pay, not only physically, but also mentally, emotionally, because it does affect your mind and whatnot, but also financially. So if you, let's think about it this way, if you start to establish yourself as a very, very informed, multi-dimensional consumer, you start with the premise that you are a vibrational being. And that means that you understand that you're an energy. You're energy. You are molecules brought into alignment. You are all sorts of things brought into alignment by the love of God. Because when something is observed, we already see when something is observed, it becomes material, right? And so who's observing us in this way to make us be? You may say first there was the word. Yeah, frequency, right? If you hit a note, I'm not going to hit a note right now because Lord knows, but if you hit a certain note, you are now introducing a vibrational frequency into the things that are around it, into your field. A lot of people you can actually sit and do some sound therapy on your own chakras or your friend's chakras just by chanting, by hitting certain frequencies, things like that. These are all different types of knowledge that, has been hidden, has been lost, or put sadly behind a paywall. So we have to be mindful. You should not be paying thousands of dollars to get access to this kind of knowledge because it's like robbery, I think. So, but the question is, what are we doing to get back in touch with all of this? What are we doing to clean up our diets? What are we doing to learn about geopathic stress and where our location is and the specific piece of land that we're on and, the waters that we're drinking? What are we doing to see how that is actively affecting our personal vibrational field? So it's a bit of a larger inquiry, but taking steps to fix your mentality around it is very important, and that starts with understanding that you're not just a body. And if you just pump it with fruits and vegetables and exercise, you're going to live a great life. It's not just that. This is old thinking, and a lot of us still need to really get on that bandwagon, right? But you have to introduce the next dimensional thought about this, which is taking a look at your energetic complement, because as we know, the energetic field is the blueprint, the physical body is the carbon copy. All right. So, so that's something Spirit is saying. Alliance. So bringing yourself into alignment with your higher self. Your higher self, what is that? That is you. It's you. You. But what kind of you? It's a super cute you. Well, you're the super cute you, but the other super cute you, which is you at another level, right? At another level of the field, at a higher dimension. Guess what? A two-dimensional figure is going to see more of the one-dimensional plane than the one-dimensional can see, and a 3D person can see more of the two-dimensional, one-dimensional than the one-dimensional can see, and the two-dimensional. So, and the 4D is going to see more, and the 5D and the 6D, and right. So your higher self is at a higher dimensional level, 27 minutes, 27 seconds, and it is able to see more of your life than you can. And so this higher aspect of you, I always ask to be connected to the highest and purest aspect of me, because I'm not trying to get on that rung that's right above me like, hey, you're barely seeing, let me get up here. Let me get that information. Hey, me, help me out down here, right? So that's the idea. You're tapping into a higher aspect of yourself. It's the higher aspect of yourself that is healed to a larger degree, that is able to see more of the field. And I just think that, why not? It's you. You know you better than you know you. You at the higher level know you better than you at the lower level know you at the lower level, or you at the higher level. So do you understand? But we've been taught along the eons here, 28 minutes, 28 seconds, to look for answers outside of us. And yes, we've had divine messengers whose words have just been obliterated in many ways that we don't know. We don't know what's real anymore, right? But yes, we've had people that we've worshipped and that we've given our money to, and governments and religious figures and this and that. But the problem here is we're looking for answers outside of us, when no, the answer should be coming from within us. And yes, it's okay to receive opinions from other people. What I'm saying is an opinion for you, right? This isn't this end all and be all. Nothing should be your end all and be all that doesn't come from yourself. And when something comes from yourself, you still need to self-reflect upon that, because sometimes you're seeing something a certain way because you have not worked through something within your field. And so your perception is limited in that way. So the point is, as the guides always say, ideological flexibility is super important. It's really, really helpful to allow you to have some kind of level of belief, some type of strength of belief that's kind of strong enough to take you through and to help you to interact with the world and to experience the world and to observe the world. But if it's malleable and it's flexible, you're not allowing those beliefs, which are energetic structures in your field, you're not allowing those beliefs to become so hardened and crystallized and formed that, you know, your friendly local reader has to be like to try to get you out of it, right? So when we say we're hard-headed, things like that, where do you think that language is coming from? Then you look at the person and they're so cute, but they've got this heavy, hard helmet over them. Turns out, wow, they also tend to be stubborn, right? So you see, the energy is there. It's all energy. And so when we work from that mindset that you are an energetic being, you are vibration, you're a vibration, you're a vibration, and you consist of pockets of frequencies within you, then you start to understand that what you consume, whether it's people, places, things, situations, ideas, just energy in all different forms, is going to affect your field. When you start to live that kind of way and you really give a good faith effort to really try to understand how to feed this kind of being that you are, this multidimensional being that you are, that you're not just your body. If you really started to understand that, you start asking, okay, well, what's the care and feeding of my multidimensional self? What are my healing modalities that I can use? How can I tap into my body and find out where the issue that I'm having is rooted? How can I tap into my body and find out why I have a headache right now? How can I tap into my body and understand why I don't like this cat? I don't know. Who knows? Why did I see that pencil and start shaking? What's happening? All of the answers are inside. But of course, you have your friendly local readers like me, ding, and other people out there who are here to assist you with your energetic field, helping you out. But at the end of the day, hopefully, if your person that you're working with is good, no one should want to take your power away from you or overpower your authority and your will and your sovereignty. If anything, people are coming in to assist you with looking at things from a different way. Of course, with clearing your energy field, working those etheric surgeries, whatever it is that you need, creating balance in your energy field, and helping you attune and your light codes and all that stuff. Yes, we can help with that. But everything should always come with a little bit of an educational element so that you can walk away learning to fish for yourself, so to speak. You get it, the fish and the fish story, and like teaching you how to fish as opposed to just giving you fish. Anyway, 32 minutes, 32 seconds. So Spirit is saying, hello, this is the time, get in touch with your higher self. So let's take a moment, because when they said this is the time, they also were communicating to me, let's do this now. Okay, so let's do this now. Ding! This is me being like, okay. So let's take a moment. Let's do a little energy work. Wow, I haven't done for the collective in a while. So let's do it. Yeah, let's get it going. Thanks, guys. Great idea. So what I'm doing, and I'm going to vocalize it for you, is I'm going to sweep out the field here. If you'd like to enjoy these frequencies and this energy clearing, feel free to just say yes. And if your answer is no, it's okay. You can still be on the call. You've already given your answer, and so you can still be on the call and it won't enter your field. But, you know, anyway, your higher self will speak for you. So let's go ahead, clear the field. And as I'm clearing the field, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, 33 minutes, 33 seconds, because the idea is we should be learning this for ourselves. So as I'm doing this, I want to ask you, what color do you see showing up on your screen? I'll give you a few seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So just letting you know, it was primarily green. Then we had some pink. Then we had some gold. Then we had purple, and then I heard someone say magenta, magenta, magenta. So so if you've seen any of those colors, yay, then you're right. We are putting that into the field as we clear. But if you saw other colors, guess what? You're also right. You saw it, you perceived of it. Trust yourself, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do now that we've kind of cleared the field, we've engaged your mind, we're going to, together, you can do this if you like, go ahead and rub your hands, 34 minutes, 34 seconds, see we're doing it together. Rub your hands and imagine them becoming strengthened. You're opening up your hand chakras. I'm hearing your root chakra as well to get grounded. All right, so we're going to, there's a lot of power in our hands right now. We're going to go ahead and lay it onto the field, the collective field, gently, and get in. So imagine taking your hands and resting them gently on water, right? And how you kind of touch the field. Now let's continue using that water energy, because we're all going to tap into our energetics, do a little, we're going to pull ourselves into the emotional space, right? So we're going to see this flow like water, and I'm going to tell you we're on the surface of it, right? But let's put our hands a little bit deeper so the water comes up to about here, the collective water that we are. And now that we're under there, let's go ahead and activate the heart space. I'm starting to get a little out of breath already. So yes, that's another thing. Note how your body reacts to the feelings now that we are tapped into the field in this way. Are you out of breath? Are you feeling tingling? Make any adjustments that you feel that you need with your body. Don't worry, you're safe. You're just connecting to the energetics of the field, and we're all on here. So for me, I just got out of breath. So what we're going to do is we're going to envision our heart space being active and aligning with source energy, with the highest and purest vibrations of, wait for it, love. Okay, because there are a lot of energies in source. We want to tap into specifically the highest and purest vibrations of love, right? And so allow your heart space to start to wobble lovingly and connect lovingly with that source. Now, as your heart space in the middle of your chest, we were talking about the heart chakra, starts to kind of get energized. Remember that your heart chakra opens out in the front. We know this, but it also opens out in the back like a mirror image. So so you've got two ends to this heart chakra that is connected to your spine, your spinal energy there. So let's go ahead and see our heart space kind of getting big and kind of wonderful. And we're going to see this beautiful green energy, or whatever energy you're seeing, envelop our entire being. So our heart chakra is enveloping all of us, and it's being animated with divine love, which we called in. All right, so now I'd like you to channel some of that beautiful energy straight down to through your arms and out through your hand chakras, because we're still in the collective pool. And I want you to project that love energy into the collective energy. And as we do this, our divine intention is going to be to clear, 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 bless, 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 free, free, free. I'm saying free, free, free because I can feel that some of you may have some attachments to you. So as we shoot in this universal energy of love into this field en masse, what we're doing is we're creating the conditions for our vibrational frequencies to rise. And once our energetic frequencies rise to a high level of love, lower frequency energy, whether it's your sadness or grief or all of this, or just low vibrational people or entity attachment, things like that, are released from this field, because on some level you're holding on to it and you may not realize it. You may be like, no way, but yes way. There's a part of you that is vibing at such a lower frequency that it's holding on to these kinds of things. So free, free, free. All right, so you guys go ahead and continue to do that. As you do that, I'm going to drop in a little extra love. It's going to, and I'm envisioning it like those little bath bombs into the field. So as I do that, you might feel energy pop up. So just go ahead and see if you feel anything. Okay, so just maintain your position because we're co-creating a healing space. And now I'm creating an agitated field within our collective field. It's kind of like a washing machine. This is dispelling a lot of energies. And so I'm curious if any of you feel it. You can DM me if you did, or leave a comment if you like. But I notice a lot of you prefer to DM me, and that's fine. Okay. I do feel the guides coming in. Some of you may need some energetic procedures, surgical procedures or whatnot. So I see them taking care of you if that's you. And the rest of you, I see some of you laying back, like just enjoying it, which is great. Enjoy it. Enjoy the vibes. All right. I see some of you actively helping to clear as well. So thank you. I know that we have some healers on this field. And maybe you, the person who's just listening, may not realize your higher self is doing a lot of clearing work as well, right? Because if you're attracted to this channel, then you know this isn't your first rodeo. You're probably very accomplished healers in some degree as well. Okay. All right. So great. Okay. So some of you are almost done. The guides are so good. They're clearing a lot of the cords now. They're like reeling it all up. Lots of cords. Wow. Because this went very deep. For some of you, it's very, very deep. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of you had a little bit of tears right now, and this is fine. Just know that guides are taking good care of you. Thank you, Spirit. All right. And they're starting to exit out of the field. So we're starting to disconnect. So you guys can go ahead and start to and set the intention to lift your own hands with love out of the collective field. Let Spirit clear your field as well. And we thank them. I thank our angels and guides for lifting out all of our refuse, all of our stuff from the field. I do want to use this word, but it's in an energetic way. They're lifting out all of our discharge, and I'm so sorry, but we're speaking energetically, okay? We just charged the field, so let's allow for this discharge to happen. So the guides are lifting it out. Oh my God, they're so funny. They're like, this is a family show. I'm like, okay, we're talking about energy. Come on. So anyway, so this energy is going. So funny. And now I'm seeing we're going to move into the mental space. Thank you so much, guys. 41 minutes, 41 seconds. Remember, we were just in the energetic space. I see them elevating us now a little bit. We're going to be getting into the mental space. So if you would like to have some energetic healing in the mental area of your field, then of course you can say, yes, please. And if no, you can be like, oh, I'll wait till this part's done. And that's fine. The guides respect that. Now, okay, I do feel some, yes, thank you. I definitely feel the surgeons coming in. They're saying that there's some energetic interference and a lot of the poles. Okay, so I'm just going to say the poles and interpoles. And I don't know, they're talking stuff that I'm not aware of, but a lot of energetic interference in the poles, so interpoles. Thank you, guys. So they're going to realign some things. They're going to make some karmic adjustments, I'm hearing for some people, but they're going to make some freewheeling adjustments as well. Okay, so they're also saying that for some of us the radio frequencies are mixed up, so they're let's see if they're going to, okay. They're so funny. Okay, using that word again. Discharge word again. Okay, they're gonna make some changes to the charges that we have. Remember, our guides can be funny too sometimes, right? So yeah, they are creating that. Some of you may actually feel a little change in your throat chakra. Go ahead, it's okay. So what you're feeling, because you may feel like not a ripping off from your throat chakra, but what you're feeling is the removal of toxicity. So it almost gives me like the sign of, like, you know, when someone has those toxic patches and then they pull it off and underneath there's like toxins. They're pulling something like that off of the throat space for a lot of you. I do feel that some of you do have some endocrine disruptors going on in your life, in your field. So maybe if you're using certain chemicals and stuff, but you may have some endocrine imbalance as well. I did feel that earlier when we were working in the emotional field. I was feeling some issues, very, very heavy on the right side, a lot of feminine issues as well. So if you have any like elbow pain or weak, sometimes your right hand feels weak or something like this, just notice that those are what's the word? like imbalances that are in your field. A lot of these things, by the way, you can clear a lot of these imbalances that your body is going through with a good healer, or somebody in your area too, if you know them and they're good at what they do, right? There are a lot of things you can do with these different healing modalities that will keep you, forget the apple, this will keep you out of the doctor's office, because a lot of times our physical ailments come from literally our body being out of balance, out of check for so long. It just manifests then in the physical body. So keeping yourself in balance over time is the best way to go. 44 minutes, 44 seconds. Okay, so we're now going to work on your hands a little bit. Some of you may feel some electrical wiring there. You may feel some electricity there. I do feel that they're correcting, and thank you for this, guides. They're correcting some, how could I say this? Circuitry problems. You may be having circuitry. I know you're thinking, Jay, circulation, but that's not what they're saying. I can speak English. Circuitry. So it's like there are circuits throughout our body, like electrically speaking, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm seeing that they are doing something there to remedy some wiring. So maybe there's miswiring, because sometimes when we're out of alignment, things start to overcompensate because of the alignment. All right. And so they're saying that a lot of this is because we can't see what's happening. There's a lack of perception in certain ways. There has just been like an overcorrecting that we're doing sometimes. And obviously I'm using the word overcorrecting in the case of the body. Like if you want to fix something, you may I can't explain it, but you may overcorrect with something and therefore create a new condition, exacerbate the old condition. But they're saying that the same principle applies in the non-physical bodies as well. So that's why it's very important to keep ourselves in balance. And they're saying that, of course, the whole idea with karma is to bring balance to things. And here we do have the Justice card. When we have karmic situations, we go through these karmic lessons. That's one way to create balance in your field and for your soul to have a balancing of expression. But what happens is, because we don't heal from a lot of those things, like if it was your role to have a karmic, to go through something, and use your agreement by karma to experience something, yeah, you experienced it, now that karma, check, you're done. But you may need to heal from that experience now, because you've been carrying it, right? You haven't had your pain witnessed, you haven't processed it, whatever. And so you may have had a karmic thing that brought balance in the field for your soul in some way, but now there's a part of you that is a little bit out of whack. So that's something else that they're talking about as well. I do see that the guides are now bringing in symbols for us. I'm not necessarily sure what those symbols look like, but I'm getting that they're ancient symbols. So some of you may actually start to see those symbols before your eyes if you're clairvoyant in that sense. They come in, some of them look gold, but please know that you don't have to feel anything or see anything or perceive of anything for these things to be for reals happening in your field. So just trust that you're receiving it. All right. And yeah, we're almost done. So let's see what else. Okay. I just felt very quickly like someone's mom came by. I'm not sure, but hi. There's a motherly energy around the crown chakra that I was feeling. What I'm getting is someone's mother may drop in some ideas and stuff. So guys, we do have, thank you so much, we do have ancestral help, and we do have help from our spirit team members to help us to infuse ideas, to come up with ideas. So maybe, for example, maybe this is a real detail for somebody here, but for example, the example I'm getting is that if you're thinking about moving somewhere, for example, and if your mom has agreed to kind of like help you out with that, your mom being on the other side, God bless, she may drop some thoughts into your conscious mind to kind of help you out ahead of time, so that you can be directed, and hopefully you take the signs, right, so that you can be directed to certain places. Or sometimes they drop ideas into our field so that we can expand our consciousness. Because what if you're looking to move and you're like, oh, I just need another apartment, but what if your mom on the other side knows that you would love to have more of a dream space? So she'll start dropping ideas into your mind so that you can think, oh wow, it would be great to have a pool in my backyard, oh, it'd be great to have a built-in sauna. So helping you, and then of course it comes to mind, or you have a dream, or it comes to mind, or you start seeing it on your TV, because now it's energetically in your field. It's going to show up as a projector in your physical world. And so when you see these things, do you like it? If you like it, start asking, oh, I like this. Let me keep the vision that I'm having. Remember, we're vision making, and I'm in the pool, and now I'm having, you know, a nice community, and there's a community garden, and I don't have to garden, but I can still have access to food because I'm helping other ways, right? So whatever it is, it's oddly specific. So whatever it is, so start to embrace these things. Start to allow these energies to assist you. So I think we're going to wind down, but I do feel them working in the shoulder area, and dear God, don't we all need that? Just me. So they're working in the neck and shoulder area. Let's allow those energies to come in. And sometimes I'm going to keep it 100. Sometimes I do get massages from my medical team. Look, you may be like, but Jay, you're crazy. But no, you know me, I'm very sound of mind and body. I would let you know, oh, this didn't happen, or that didn't feel right. I know what I felt, and I'm just going to say thank you. So remember, you can ask your spirit team members to assist you, and you might be, oh, thank you. They're actually, oh, this is interesting. Thank you guys. They're still working on you, and they're going to taper off soon, but this is interesting. They're saying that yes, they can do that, and they don't do it all the time, but they can. And the reason why some of you may not feel that at all, or not have that experience, is simply because it would freak you out. if you are like, and we may be like, I want to know it, I want to feel it, show me what you got, Lieutenant Dan moment, you know. But your higher self, or there's a little part of you, maybe your inner child, may actually be terrified, and so the guides can see that, and so they won't do it, because you at the conscious level mind is like, yeah, let's bring it on, I don't believe you, let's do it. But there's a part of you that would be too afraid. You don't want to have those kind of spiritual experiences that become a little too real for you if you're not ready for that. And I'm getting, this is very important to mention to some of you, because some of you want to go at breakneck speed into this kind of lifestyle. So I say start with learning how to work with the vibrations with your field. Start getting to know you, because a lot of times we want to be engaged with other beings, but if you understood what came with that, you may not feel as comfortable. And, you know, once you really kind of start having these conversations with beings and things, it may scare you, and you may never feel right again in this lifetime. That's some of you, because maybe you're just not ready to have that level of interaction. And I'll leave an analogy to that in a physical world setting. We all love to help people, and we all love to be healers, but not everybody can be an EMT, for example. Not everyone can respond to the scene and see someone's neck almost off their shoulders, right? We all want to help, but that's not our forte. Other people would prefer to be healing through, like, maybe art therapy, you know, or healing through counseling and being a counselor and things like that, or healing through physical massage for other people. Not everyone can find someone in the crack den and see them in this state. Like, so my point is that part of understanding who you are and what's going on in your energy field, and part of learning about what is comfortable for you, is about being honest about what it is that you would feel comfortable seeing and experiencing. Because yes, we'd all love to have our angels show up, and our guides and our ancestors, but the minute someone touches your shoulder, you're like, ah, and then you're scared for the rest of your life. And now you have a shower and you're afraid to be alone. And like, so be mindful of what you ask for, because you know, if you can't see, look at her, if you can't see everything at this 3D perspective, you know, be mindful. Now, that being said, we went into a lot of stuff today, and this is what the guides wanted to bring through, and I'm so thankful to be able to assist in bringing forth this information. But the takeaway is that it's time to start living vibrationally. Yeah, 7 of Cups. It's time to start making choices that are truly, for reals, in alignment with your health and well-being. But not only is it time to do that, but it's also time for you to start to redefine what health and well-being means for you. Great, you've done a great job on understanding what health and well-being means for the physical body, and maybe you're falling short of that. I've fallen short a little bit, my bad, okay? Since we're all out here, you know, policing our diets and stuff, right? But that's the old way. The new way, as we move forward, and the more real way, because your perception is expanding as you evolve, is to understand that you're not just your physical body. So it is no longer enough to just eat well and exercise and get enough sleep and this and that. You are being asked to encompass the fact that you are a multidimensional being with different levels to your field, and these different levels have different techniques that work for them. These different levels have different needs. They communicate to you in different ways. You as an individual respond differently to these different levels of your field than someone else would. So we're starting to understand that you are a very unique being in so many ways, and it's your job, it's your responsibility, your meaning all of us, it's your responsibility to start learning how to work with you. With you. Oh my God, stop it. Truth and salvation. Tell it like it is, right? Salvation meaning, hey, you want to save yourself? Listen, nobody's out here trying to save you. You save you. And when you start to understand what that means, you're going to be like, oh, shoot, I better get on it, right? That's what that means. So before you start watching that movie without shielding up, before you start dating that person, and I mean, we'll save that for a whole other day. But let me just say, if you don't like somebody, don't sleep with them, because you are sleeping with them and all their stuff. So I'm just putting that out there. But anyway, truth. Yes, speak it. So I'm going to, yeah, humor, I love that. So I am going to end this here. You guys know what's going on. If you'd like to work with me more personally, 55 minutes, 55 seconds. We do it all. My shingle is out, my light is on, I'm here for you. I'm not going to run down the field chasing people down, literally down the field, but just know that I'm here. And if you'd like to work personally with me, you have questions and blah, 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 you know exactly where to find me. But until then, please remember that you are a sovereign being. So, you know, take your time to really work with yourself, get to know yourself, and anything that people do on you, don't be on your energy field, stuff like that. Don't be afraid to ask questions. How did you do it? What did you do? When did you start doing this? Don't be afraid to ask questions. And remember, if someone's working on your energy field in whatever capacity, whether it's tarot readings, crystal stuff, light therapy, sound therapy, scalar energy with the housing and all that, geopathic stress release, blah, 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 all of that stuff, even physical therapy, things like that, you have a right to know a little bit about the practitioner. So don't be afraid to ask. And what they do for you should not be shrouded in mystery, because remember, they're in your field. It doesn't get much closer than that. They're in your energetic field. And you have a right to say no if you don't want that to occur for you. And that's as simple as setting the intention to say no. You don't have to call up someone and be like, hey, no, you don't have to do that, because your energetic field is your energetic field, and you shield up and you disallow access. Start learning that you have that ability, right? So if you have someone offering to work in your field and you see that they carry a certain let's say a certain energy to them, if you see that they are irascible, easily angered, so I have to use that word. I mean, look, we never use those words, and you know, these are these big words that we have to learn. If they're easily angered, if they're have a major polarity, they're ready to sell you down river once they learned who you voted for, or they're judging you because you didn't do this, or like, hey, you were late on your payment and I gotta cut you off, and this is the wrong person to have in your energy field. If you wouldn't have this person working on your child, then don't have them working on you, because you are really your inner child. And I'll tell you, when I do work with a lot of clients, I just see these inner children just scared, and we have to work with them and let them know, hey, little buddy, what you doing? And we have to let them be comfortable, right? So if you feel a little like, this person's a little, then your inner child is saying something. And so, long story short, moving forward, start to understand that you have power. And at the end of the day, and for reals, we'll leave you with this. At the end of the day, it is not going to fly, just like it doesn't fly at work when you're in the boss's office. It's not going to fly when you said, oh, I didn't know. I just, it was on my desk and I just like signed it. No, it's on your desk. You have to read it. You have to be aware of it before you sign these things, right? So it's your responsibility to decide. This is what the first card we pulled out was, that heavy justice card. Look at it. It's your responsibility to make final decisions, whether you felt coerced, whether you felt like somebody gaslit you, whether you felt like manipulated in any other way or overpowered. At the end of the day, then you have to look at why that happened. But at the end of the day, you allowed it to happen. And that's just the way it is. And it could be simply because it was the easier choice for you. It felt familiar. It felt right, the right thing. Why? Because there are energetic stuff in your field that needs to be healed so that you can start to perceive properly what is in your health and well-being. I'll tell you, no, it's not waiting 3 days to hear back from some guy or some gal that you're really into and they're just stringing you along. If you're doing that, and we all have done that, then something's wrong on the inside. We have to work on it, right? So that's the point I'm making. Anyway, 59 minutes, 59 seconds, just as I said that. I'm going to go. Bye. So if you need me, you know where to find me. But until then, God bless you. Keep an eye out for the Astro Reels. We're getting started again. Bye.